Hey everybody, it's SK again. I typically don't do Final Fantasy XIV as like YouTube specific content. It's pretty much been purely a stream thing. But I really want to play it, and I don't really have enough time to stream it in what I feel is a basically, like, I got an hour to play this, and I really don't want to play anything else, and I really want to progress with the story. I vaguely remember how the story goes because I have leveled several characters to 50 at this point and never really got past that point. So I'm vaguely aware of what's going on, but I really want to refresh myself in the story, and I'm getting really invested into it again. And also, Giant Angry Catman is now the owner of my heart and soul, so here we go. While you were attending to the business in Thanaland, some new information arrived courtesy of our friends the Sylphs. An individual fitting La Habrea's description has been sighted in the Northern Shroud. This sighting comes in the wake of a series of mysterious deaths in the self-same area. My instincts tell me that our man is involved. I would have you continue your investigation where you left off. 12 willing, we will pick up La Habrea's trail once more. Noraxia can furnish you with the details. Pray speak with her and make it from there. And take it from there. As always, be careful out there, Garn. Sure. I'm down. Oh, is this the one where I go back to Gridania, I think? I don't know. It's been a hot minute. Also, oh yeah, I still have my excuse me. I don't know who you are. Sorry. Good time for the phone to ring, because of course it is. See, the world thinks it's a stream, so it's going to try and distract me because I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV. So they're like, ooh, she has Final Fantasy XIV going on, so therefore we must distract her in every way possible. We cannot let her enjoy the game. Or some shit. Wait, why am I running? Why are you running? Quarry Mill, Fallguard Float. Why am I running when I can just boop myself from one part of the world to another? Like a badass. So how's the visuals looking so far? Okay, so I'm not seeing any FPS drop, which is good. I was having a bit of an issue with that on my stream yesterday. Admittedly, I didn't really go, excuse me? Where is... Hello? So I was supposed to talk to Noraxia first, and then go to Fallguard Float. Probably would have helped if I'd paid attention to the directions, huh? But that's fine. That's fine. I can talk to Noraxia. My god, look at that. This game is so freaking gorgeous. I love the... Like, look at that. What is that in the distance? Wait, I think I know what that is in the distance. Isn't that, that's an endgame thing I have to go to, yeah? I think. Okay, so let's talk to Noraxia. Yes, let's pay attention to the map markers, because that's why they're there. Hi, Noraxia. This is probably why they give you those extra tickets, too. Mocking one is to investigate Sinister One? Then heed well this one's words. This one is friends with the Walking One of the Ash Crown Consortium. According to Friendly One, a Digging One named Medrad had an encounter with a scary masked one. This masked one is most certainly Sinister One. Walking One should go ahead and speak with Digging One Medrad. Digging One is to be found at Fallguard Float in the North Shroud. Okay, and now we go to Fallguard Float. We're just going to use an Aetherite ticket. Because I can, damn it. Boop ourselves back into existence. Take another look at just the... This game has so much immersion. I love it. This is one of the reasons I actually wanted to stream it and not just consume it all. Really? That's cute. That's very cute. You graduated the 6th grade, General Catman. Okay, Medrad, what we got? Please leave me be. I'm not long for this world. I look death in the face. 'Tis only a matter of time before he comes for me, just like he came for that poor woman. Adrad is clearly traumatized. Perhaps you were to soothe him, he might remain calm long enough to hold a conversation. Okie dokie. Where the fuck is it? Oh, there it is. I don't think that's soothing, my dude. You're basically telling someone to, like, stop at a red light. You're right, it's not as bad as it seems. I saw something terrible, that's true, but that hardly means I'm going to suffer the same fate. Thanks to you, I can think straight again. I believe I can recount what I saw without losing it. So, fun fact. I remember how this quest used to be before the revamp. And I hated this quest. In fact, this and the whole, like, Titan quest line were some of the most infuriating quests I think I've ever done in a JRPG, simply because I'm like, why am I, you know, this dude is having, like, a panic attack. So there was something like 3 or 4 quests where we had to go out and collect things to calm him down enough to actually talk to him. So I can appreciate the fact that they cut all of that out, because it was literally just busy work. And it's like, okay, we soothed him, now we can get on to the main story. So thank you. Excuse me. It was just another ordinary day. I was headed back to the float when I noticed a suspicious character in the distance. A masked man garbed head to toe in black. He had a hideous fiend in tow, a winged creature that was all eyeball and jagged teeth. Taken by curiosity, I crept as near as I dared to see a corpse of a woman. One glimpse was enough to tell me that she died a gruesome death. In that instant, I knew right away that the masked man was a minion of Thal, come to claim her soul for his realm. The hell, a scary angel of death. What? You're investigating the same masked man? If that's the case, we'll help in whatever way we can. Aye. Anything to ensure that we won't have to suffer Madrad's hysteria ever again. I mean, that's one way to look at it. Alright, teamwork. That's what I wanted to... Wait, I haven't been that bad, have I? At any rate, I'm all for helping this adventure. It's the least I can do to repay him for comforting me. And again, I think that might be the original storyline. Which makes a little sense, like, why would you have to repay him for comforting you for, like, 5 seconds? But when you take into account the original story, where it was, like, 4 quest lines or something stupid. So here's what we know about the deaths. All the victims were found with their faces torn to shreds. I'm not yawning because the story is boring, I promise. Among the local fauna, only the Scalekin known as a Ziz could inflict such wounds. That's why some folk are pointing the finger at them. I somehow doubt the answer is that simple, but for the sake of thoroughness, we should look into it. Why don't you put down, say, 3 of the creatures and see if you can find any proof connecting them to the deaths? That's also different. Because I remember, at least vaguely remember, back in the olden days of yours. So yeah, by the way, anybody watching this, they actually did cut down the Realm Reborn main story quest line. I think they got rid of, like, 80 quests or something like that. They got rid of a fair chunk of the fat, basically. And that original version of the quest was, this dude's freaking out, he's talking about people with their faces being ripped off, yada yada yada, and they're like, well, it can't be what it says we're supposed to be. Hey, how about you go kill a bunch of Zizzes in the forest? Oh, okay, so there's nothing there? Okay, well, how about you go and kill these monsters instead while collecting, like, his royal freaking teddy bear or what the hell ever. And it was a fairly frustrating quest line, gonna be real with you. But it's okay, because the quest is awesome now. And it kind of gets to the point where it's like, yeah, they think it's this fault, so you know what, just call a couple, just assuage their fears, like they don't have anything to worry about, so you know, it's cool. I love being a Dragoon, it's amazing. Oh no, 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 I don't want to kill the level 50 bear. We can run away from that. I don't know if that guy has sight aggro. The green, I'm assuming, means that it's not aggressive. Having said that, I don't want to kill the giant angry bear because he will one-shot me. I would love to not be one-shot. Slay the Ziz. I'm actually impressed by how many people are out here leveling right now. Even though some of their names are kind of stupid, but hey, you know what? more power to you. You're in here enjoying the game. That is fucking gorgeous. Look at that. God, this game is gorgeous looking and I love it. And again, my understanding is that A Realm Reborn is also super rough around the edges compared to everything else, so I can only imagine how streamlined it gets after the effect. I know you can't see the target because I'm 18 feet tall and my head is through the roof. You've already seen this is? Good work, adventurer, so we're able to find odd to suggest the creatures were our culprits. Nothing, truth be told. Even if there were proof, I wouldn't know what it looked like. Anyway, I believe we can safely strike Ziz from our list of suspects, which leaves us with the masked man and his winged eyeball. There's something else I heard about the deaths up here. All the victims have become comely maidens. I'd better watch myself, eh? Unseemly japes aside, there's a rumor been going around that there's some whisper that after each victim died, her rancor went into the great big rock west of here, causing it to flash and moan. What? What is a rancor? This bears investigating, I reckon. I'm going to give you a fire sand stick to blow off a piece of that crag. The stick doesn't come with a fuse or anything, so you'll have to throw the thing. Once you've torn the rock a new one, bring back some of the fragments, and I'll give him a gander. There's something you should know. We have been keeping this to myself, lest I worsen Madrod's paranoia, but I too have seen the winged eyeball. I cannot say whether it's coincidence, but my sighting took place precisely the same time as Madrod's. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Sorry. My caffeine hasn't kicked in yet. I was heading home after a day of digging when a shadow fell over me. Looking up, I found myself locked in a gaze with a giant eyeball. I let out a scream at the top of my lungs and ran once without looking back. This happened at the rocky area west of here in case you had mind to investigate. Once again, something that probably would have been good to know. And all I'm saying, like, I hear that and all I'm thinking is I'm getting visual flashbacks to the Wedding Singer movie. When something, what was it, the Adam Sandler's fiance in that movie left him on the day of the wedding and she's telling him all the reasons why and he's like, once again, information that would have been useful yesterday! As in before everything went wrong. And this is where I'm getting at. Like, hey, by the way, this would have been good information to know. Just by the by. If you see a giant demon eyeball that looks like it's going to suck out your soul, that's probably something we need to know about as a general rule. Oh god, don't kill me. Don't I have a heal? Okay, I'm gonna murder you first, just so that way you don't get in my way. So, what are we planning to do here? Honestly, I'm not really sure, to be completely truthful with you. Like I said, I remember the story vaguely. I kind of know where it ends up, but I just don't remember the details of it, which is, again, why I'm kind of replaying through all of this. Sup, buddy? I'm longing for the day, maybe not longing for the day, but I'm eagerly awaiting the day that I'm going to be able to get myself killed in a dungeon by jumping and basically animation locking myself into a fatal area of effect attack. You know, don't stand in the bad. I'm not staying in the bad. I'm jumping. You land back in the bad. Oh no. Crunch. As is the Dragoon way, as I'm reportedly told. My commentary is going to suck in this, simply because, one, I'm still feeling kind of under the weather. I am starting, like, the antibiotics are starting to really kick in, so I am feeling way better than I was even a couple of days ago. By the way, I'm flying on the giant eyeball. Get wrecked. And also, I really want to just take this in, you know? That there's so much cool shit. Like, look at that. What is that? I mean, it looks like a freaking halo ring just exploded and landed here. I want to know where that came from. Like, what exploded and landed here? I don't know if that's a 1.0 thing. Does anybody actually know what that's from? If it's a spoiler for a later story, don't tell me, but I'm still fascinated. Oh, fuck. No. Inventory. Oh, excuse me. Oh, fire sand at the rock. Okay. What's up, Clay Golem? How y'all doing, How y'all doing on this wonderful, sunny, whatever the fuck day? Waters Day. I don't know. I know that Final Fantasy XIV has its own day-night cycle. I think it has its own week and month cycle as well. Like, I know it has its own lunar cycle. Oh man, that brings me back to my days in Final Fantasy XI where you had to... And again, I think I've mentioned this, but it really does bear repeating that the crafting system in Final Fantasy XI was deep as to have been obtuse. So the best way to maximize getting skill ups was you had to wear a certain set of gear, have a certain set of furniture in your Mog house, you had to have a certain kind of buff, you need to be crafting on a certain part of the in-game month, as in a part of the lunar cycle, the in-game lunar cycle, on a certain specific day, facing a certain direction, though that one may have been debunked lately. I don't know. I mean, to the fact that the game is freaking 20 years old and people are still debating as to whether or not these are actually things in the game because they just don't know, there's no way to verify it, is pretty telling as to how deep/obtuse the game is. But you had to do all of that to get an increased chance to get 1/10 of a skill point. Most folk are too scared to go within within 100 yards of the... oh my god, words. Most folk are too scared to go within 100 yalms of the Rock of Rancor. It has a name. What a few vengeful spirits... Sorry. Well, what's a few vengeful spirits to a dauntless adventurer like you, eh? You're kind of an asshole, Edine. Huh? There's just 2 garden variety crystals. 'Tis a bit hard to tell beneath all the dirt and grime, but they're definitely lightning aspected. I almost hate to say it, but that explains the flashing and the moaning. Nothing to do with the masked stranger. Looks like we've gone and wasted both your time and a perfectly good fire sand stick. Oh well. A monstrous bane might appeared, and you slew it. The creature had long been a scourge upon the folk of Fallgord. Intentional or no, you've done us a great service. You have my gratitude. But this does make me wonder, is this truly the winged eyeball I saw? Or is this merely a trick of light combined with blind panic? Why not talk to the witness, maybe? I mean, I'm literally riding on a giant Ahriman. Just saying. There's no been promising leads in the murders. I can scarce get a wink of sleep knowing that killer is still at large. Judging by your furrowed brows, I take it this sorry business troubles you as much as it does me. I'd been pondering my encounter. I was uncertain for a time, but there can be no doubt. It was a winged eyeball that I witnessed. It's implausible that I could have mistaken so distinct a feature for a bane mite. But you and I were malms apart. How could we have both seen it at precisely the same time? I mean, because there's more than one, I'd wager. What's more, I'd venture a fence and have run it with the bane mite at the very spot you claim to see that fiendish eyeball. Isn't that right? There must be an explanation. I know I saw an eyeball with wings. I would wager an apple tart on it. Oh, now there's a man's wager. When they wager food, you know they're being serious. Ooh, he's okay. He's serious, but listen, mayhap is not as mysterious as we're making out to be. There's no reason why there couldn't be... Gods, of course, there must be more than one of the buggers. Oh, so obvious, but that means since there have been repeated sights of these fiends, there must be even more victims as of yet undiscovered. So am I a part of, like, the fucking Scooby troop here? Like, am I all aboard the mystery van? Like, what the hell is this? Shit. Okay, I'm apparently a bad Scooby-Doo purveyor. What the hell was the name of their bus? Their van? Was it actually... It wasn't called the Magical mystery van. What the fuck was the name of their... Whatever. I'll look it up later. I do believe we're out of our depth. We'd have to leave the rest to the expert. Who is, like, the rando who showed up, right? Yes, we're just civilians after all. Good luck, adventurer. It was a pleasure knowing you. Yeah. While I burn to know the truth, some things are best left unknown. Lest you have forgotten, it was a rocky area to the west that I had my encounter. Should you discover aught of note, you will want to alert the authorities. There's a guardhouse nearby. The serpents should be pleased for any information that pertains to the security of the region. So is there any particular reason you guys can't tell them what's going on? You know, extra witnesses are usually a good thing. Just saying. Not that I'm trying to, you know, no pressure or anything, but also, like, you're having me go around and kill a bunch of shit. And then you're like, yeah, but I mean, now that there may actually be a threat of something killing me, you know, maybe not. Maybe I'll just think about it. We'll sleep on it, you know? Have a nice mimosa, take a little nappy nap, you know, and we'll just, you know, call the doctor in 3 to 5 days to figure out if there have been any untoward side effects, you know. As you do, I suppose. And boop. Fuck off, Sis. Don't want any of this. Fuck off. What's up, Ariman? Okay. Thank you. Oh, that is unfortunate. I thought that was somebody I was saving, and no, they're already dead. I could have sworn that they were actually sitting up, though. I'm gonna have to, you know, rewind the tapes, as it were, and look at that again, because I could have sworn that there had been somebody looking to be alive, or maybe they were mid-mangle. I don't know. Well, that's gonna. I mean, if that's the case, that would make it significantly worse. You know what? That is unfortunate. We found a dead body. Boink. I love the fact that I can do this while keeping my screen the same, or that is keeping my camera aiming forward. It's the little things in life, you know? Not giving myself motion sickness by trying to do a 360 spin, you know what I'm saying? Tony Hawk, I am not. Greetings, adventurers. Is there aught I might assist you with? Yeah, by the way, I have this dead body. Maybe you can do something with it. Gods be good, not again. No matter how many bodies I see, I cannot get used to the horrid sight. Poor woman. Identical deaths have been reported in the central shroud. While the masked stranger you seek does not seem to feature in any... Wait. While the mask does not seem to feature in any... Oh, okay. Sightings of the winged eyeball are common enough. The creature appears to be moving the bodies, but to what end, none can say. The victims have all been young women, all found with their faces mutilated beyond recognition. It's difficult to identify them so as to notify their next of... This button engraved with a lily motif. Very same object was found upon another victim. The family sigil or that of an organization, perhaps. Yeah, let's just kneel over the dead body, yeah? Either way, I dare to hope that this find will prove pivotal in solving the murders. All of a sudden, I'm Kitty Cat Nancy Drew. Sure. Meowncy Drew? There's a cat joke in there somewhere. My brain can't parse enough to figure it out. I would have you hold on to the lily button. You will need to continue your investigation. While it isn't standard procedure to entrust key evidence to individuals, you have proven yourself reliable and resourceful. Reliable and resourceful in this matter. I see no reason why you shouldn't carry on your work. If I might make a suggestion, you may wish to take the button to Gridania and have it examined by Mione. Perhaps someone in her vast network of contacts can shed light upon this sigil. I mean, okie dokie. Can do. And back off we go. Hey, Mama Mione. There's a lot of fucking people on here at 11 o'clock in the morning. Oh, wait. What is the server time? All I'm saying is there's a decent amount of people here at 11 o'clock in the morning on a Friday. I can appreciate this. This game is gorgeous. You... Wait, what do you have? What is this? As if I'm not busy enough without playing Lost and Found. Oh, do forgive me, friend. Once again, the customers have departed without their belongings, and I'm at a loss for what to do about it. While I understand that adventurers have many cares on their minds, it would make my life easier if they could keep their personal effects in order. But you did not come here. Oh, my lord, you did not come here to my grumblings. This is the book in question. The face of its owner is unfamiliar to me, but Earl over there seemed quite smitten with her, as with every passing pretty lass he lays his eyes on, but that's neither here nor there. Might I trouble you to inquire as to the girl's whereabouts? I found the man to be less than forthcoming since I spurned his advances. Aw. Sexism. Wonderful. The sweet little thing with the journal? Of course I remember. I remember her well. Had a smile to warm the heart and a laugh, a lilt, one might say, to tickle the depths of the soul. And she was the most eager to hear the tales of my travels, which speaks to the keen and sensitive mind. Jilly, I believe was her name? No, that's not right. Jilly was the redhead from last week. Ah, damned if I can remember. You must understand, no small number of comely lasses seek out my company. I dare say keeping all the names and faces straight is an adventure in itself. You're a dick. Cool. And he wrote, the girl spoke of paying a visit to the Apkalu Falls before traveling on. Like as not, you'll find her there now, shedding a tear or two at our parting. You pass along my regards if you see her. Excuse me. She should be readily recognizable with that charming straw hat of hers. Okay, cool. I'll get to that later, I guess. Good day to you, Garin. By your grim expression, I suspect you aren't here for scones and herb tea. Well, this isn't a lovely... Well, isn't this a lovely little button? The engraving is quite exquisite. Artisan level quality, I would say. Where did you say you found this? On a dead body? Lovely. Anyway, I'm afraid you do not recognize the lily sigil. You'll have to find the answer to the old-fashioned way by asking around. You could do worse than beginning with Bernadette over by the Aetherite Plaza. She has a sharp pair of eyes, that one. Come on, Scoob! Uh-oh, Raggy. Yoop. Yoop. Giant angry cat man makes my life so happy. I love his little jump. It's so cute. He's so ferocious and at the same time so goddamn adorable. Need help tracking the owner of a button? That's certainly not a quest I receive on a regular basis. Well, go on, then show me what you have. Seems to be a manner of decorative button reminiscent of those worn by the families of old, though I cannot claim to know its sigil. However, I can say with certainty that the white lily is a recurring theme in Gridanian culture. Alas, I do not know who would make a personal sigil of it. If there's a soul in Gridania who does, it would be Sangaled over in the Lancers Guild. The one makes a point of knowing all the citizens on a four-name basis. Okie dokie then. Off to see my old homies, I guess. Yoop. Hey, dude. Hey, Sangaled, or however you pronounce your name. Bernadette believes that I can help you. That is a rather bold assumption to make. I will try to assist, never you fear, but whether aught comes out of it or not is another matter. Now then, what do you require of me? Fascinating work of this quality is rarely seen in the hands of ordinary Gridanians. The owner of this button is most certainly well-to-do. You may take your search to the Gentry's Ward, northwest of here. Wait, a memory comes to me. Of late there's been a man who is perpetually seated at the bench of the ward's entrance. His name is Ursandel, and I distinctly recall seeing a markedly similar button upon the breast of his jacket. I dare say he can tell you a thing or two about it. Cool. Apaku Falls! Apkulu! Cthulhu, whatever. Cthulhu Fatagan. Two birds with one stone, let's go. God, this game is gorgeous! It does remind me a lot of Windurst, I mean for obvious reasons, because Windurst was the forest city, but this one is a lot more serene, I guess. Millith. Pardon, I don't believe we met. You have something in mind, you say? My journal, thank the 12. In my haste, I escaped the clutches of that insufferable muttonmonger. It slipped my mind entirely. Might I be so bold as to ask your name? You have my gratitude, Garin. It may not look like much, but I count this humble diary amongst my most prized possessions. Its pages brimmed with tales of the most heartstringing sights to be seen in our realm, as told to me by sensitive souls I've met in my travels across Eorzea, tales that have struck me with the most incurable case of wanderlust. As an adventurer, you too have seen the realm, I am sure. But I would ask you, Garin, have you truly seen her, borne witness to Eorzea and her myriads of splendor? I looked at a freaking halo ring, lady. Have you stood on the palm-fringed beaches of Costa de Sol just as the sun peeks out over the horizon, its rays kissing the sands beneath your feet? Have you lost yourself in the night sky of Sagoli, adrift amidst a boundless sea of stars? Ah, but why do I try to convey with words that which must be seen to be appreciated? For our fortune whithersoever we wander, Eorzea's beauty is but a stone's throw away. I mean, you're not wrong about that. If I may quote from my journal, yes, this is the one. Afore the fane, beneath the two that are as one, her divine cup runneth over with light ethereal. Such were the conjurer's word, and I would see as she saw. What the hell are you talking about? I saw for myself before coming here, and I assure you the conjurer spoke true. Indulge me. Go there and look out upon the beauty before you. I would hear your thoughts. What am I looking out? Oh. Hang on. I would love to go see that, ma'am. Your story's cool, and I'm happy for you, but I got questiness to go for here. You. 3 foot vertical. Can I jump over the Tartaro? Or excuse me, the Lalafell? I do not believe we are acquainted. Please, pray leave me to my thoughts. I would love to, but I have a mystery to solve here. Scooby and the gang are still waiting in the van in the back. The sigil of the Cantus family. How is it you came to be in possession of this button? From the body of a murdered woman? Her face, was it marred in any way? I had feared as much. I can no longer feign ignorance. I shall reveal to you the truth of the deaths, but on one condition. You promise to put an end to my lady's madness and free her from her torment. Sure. I was once a manservant of the employee of one of the oldest and proudest families in Gridania. The Dartankers. The Dartankers? Sure. During that time, I had the honor of waiting upon Lady Amandine, mistress of the household. Fair as summer was she, as possessed of a heart befitting her radiance. Alas, the calamity wrought a great change in her. Though my lady escaped with her life, death may as well have been a kinder fate. Never will I forget the day her bandages were removed, and she beheld her disfigured face for the first time. At that moment, the kindly woman I knew ceased to be. Unable to bear the thought of being seen, my lady sequestered herself within the chambers and refused all company. She continued for many uneasy moons, until one day, without warning, she began receiving queer guests. None among us knew whence they came, but the masked men, but my lady believed they would help her regain what she had lost. So began the rites of rejuvenation. These rituals seemed innocent enough from the beginning, but grew ever more grotesque as time went by. Eventually there came a day when my lady bound one of her handmaidens to the bed and proceeded to mutilate the poor girl's face. Suffice it to say, she did not survive the ordeal. It fell to me to dispose of her body. I performed the dreadful task as bait, obedient servant that I was, but when the time came to return to the house, my legs refused to move. I knew then that I could not go back to that place, not after the nightmare I had witnessed. So it was then that I left Hawke Manor, my home for nigh on half a century. And then he bows for some reason. Long did I weep for the girl who was slain, and longer still for the woman that Lady Amandine has been. Yet one cannot weep forever, and I endeavored to put the matter behind me. Indeed, I had resolved never to speak of my experience until you appeared before me. My lady's madness must be ended, lest more innocent lives be lost. Lay her tormented soul to rest, as you swore to me you would. She awaits you in Hawke Manor on the western edge of Central Shroud. Go now, go and do what must be done. Isn't he somehow culpable for her death? Like, he literally disposed of a girl's body. Like, he has a responsibility, right? There's got to be something that he's supposed to be doing, like going to an authority figure and be like, hey, by the way, really bad shit's going down in this place. Maybe we should do something, because him not telling anyone has directly led to, I don't know, maybe a good half a dozen people that have also been killed as a result of this, because it sounds like this is an ongoing issue. I'm not saying I want the guy to be thrown into jail forever and have the key locked away behind him. I get that he was kind of, and you know, between a rock and a hard place, so to speak. But at the same time, like, you know, you kind of helped dispose of a chick's dead body and just kind of sat on a bench for, I don't know, weeks or months, and was like, wrestled with the idea of maybe I should tell someone about the dead body that I threw away. That seems like, you know, maybe he should talk to somebody about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to look out at the waterfall now. I need some zen. Moat. Lookout. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Up Coal Falls and report your findings. Okay. The sneeze is not going away. It's still chilling there. And I would very much wish it would either, you know, sneeze or get off the pot, because I would like to have full use of both of my eyes. Please. Sinuses. That would be super freaking awesome. Also, what am I doing? What quest is this? Have I done this before? I don't remember. I mean, clearly I haven't done it before on this character, but I don't know if I've done this before on any character. Can I reach it? Nope, not quite. But I can smack it with the stick. Which automatically means that I can, if you think about it. Don't think about it. Yoop. Hey, Millith. Welcome back, Garn. I trust you were moved by the sight as I was. The great stone that adorns the entrance to Stillgate Fane is none other than the Sky Serpent's egg. The Sky Serpent's egg cast down from the heavens by Nofika, the matron, so long ago. And those mammoth tree trunks, remnants, no doubt, of the primeval Forgamus. Whence did they came? Why did the two great arbors grow as one? This I do not know, but what I do know is that the realm is replete with such beauty, if only we know where to look. This is what No? Okay, still no C's. This is what compels me to wander, not the promise of power, glory, or riches, but a burning desire to bear witness to all of the wonders around us as wrought by gods and men alike. Somebody who loves taking screenshots of video games. I'm down. Though we've just met, the twinkle in your eye tells me that we share certain aesthetic sensitivities. It would be my pleasure to gift you with a sightseeing log of your own. In its pages you will find my record of most stirring sights in the realm, both those I have seen with my own eyes and those that I have thus far at least only heard of my travels. No doubt your adventures keep you occupied, but this is not all the more reason to take the sights that you travel that both body and mind might enjoy. Okay. Glorious new vistas eluded even me. Wish you safe travels. Cool. What the hell did I just unlock? You now have access to the sightseeing log, a compendium of the most beautiful sights to be seen in Eorzea, as compiled by the explorer Millith Ironheart. To open it, select logs from the main menu, followed by sightseeing log. From the snippets of information contained within, identify and seek out the locations described. It's fucking Where's Waldo. Note that certain sites may only be properly appreciated at a given time of day or under ideal weather conditions. Perform the designated emote when taking in the sights, and the entry for the corresponding vista will be marked off with the... Oh god. The lack of a sneeze is actually distracting me. With the sightseeing log in hand, go forth and see Eorzea if you have ever seen her before. Cool. I really have to blow my nose. Dear God, okay. So what the hell? OOI impressions. Under the Azor, I gazed down upon warships 3, their billowing sails of crimson, leaving no doubt as to who truly rules the seas. Such were the merchant's words, and I would see as he saw. It's a fucking puzzle. A flagon or two of grog having filled me mead with big idea, filling me head with big ideas. I eyed that I've villainy from the pier, feeling as if I could cut down Ilfer himself. Woke the next morning, strung up by my ankles. I was lucky to escape with me life. Such were the Buccaneers' words, and I would see as he saw. In a dank cavern that's never known the sun, the patter of the rain, me only companion, I dropped to one knee and said me farewells to me ill-fated mates. They sing no songs for fishermen, but the sea swallows us all the same. Such were the old mariner's words, and I would see as he saw. Huh. That's interesting. It's a little Easter egg journey. This game is amazing. I love the fact that it has a bunch of side stuff that has no real bearing upon the story or the main content. It's just like a, hey, if you want to keep yourself busy, this is cool stuff. This is cool side stuff that'll keep you interested if you're interested. And if you're not interested, you know, just come back when there's a new patch. You know, come back when there's new content. You don't have to worry about playing all day, every day. You know, and making it like a job or whatever. WoW. You don't have to turn it into a job, WoW. You don't have to turn it into a job. Just let people play the game. They're allowed to leave and come back. Allow us to be free, you fools. Why is it that every single one of these episodes I end up ranting about WoW at some point? Again, I feel like a jilted ex-lover, but I kind of don't even care. I've never been down here before, you know? I just realized I'm down here. Yeah, I've never been down here before. I didn't know you could walk down here. Cool. Can I get back up here? Can I get up here? Can I get up this way? No, but I can get stuck in a wall, apparently. I love this game. It makes me so happy. Now how the fuck do I get back up here? Oh, there it is. Okay. Hello? There we go. I have survived the daring trip of a babbling brook in a city. You know. Well, either way, y'all like what you saw, feel free to leave a like. You want to see more? You know what to do and all that stuff. And I will see y'all next time. Peace out!